Hi Internet viewers, this is Frank Rauscher again. In our last video, we had completed the tail feathers on the front side. We did, the tail feathers on the front side. We did the back of the wren in this area. Now what we want to complete, I want to try to show you, we're going to do the back side of the tail feathers. We're going to do the back side of the wings, and I'm also going to try to mark in the feathering under what I call the chin area, which is down from the beak. So bear with me. I'm going to bring the camera down and I'm going to show you how I approach that. So be right there. Okay, we're going to proceed on. I'm going to start on the back of the tail here. We did the front, now I'm going to do the back. And because these feathers are so thin, I'm not even going to try to give a double quill. I'm going to put a quill down the middle and a quill down the middle. Trying to draw a straight line. Then there's little quills sticking out through here, down the center, here, 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 and here. Now the other thing I want to do, and it's helpful, is I'm going to run a pencil line in so you can see the depth of where we're at here. I don't know if that's very helpful, but I'm going to try to show it as best I can. This is the underneath side of the wing. So most of the feathers are going to be pointing, or the veining, I should say, is going to be pointing inward. So we're going to just put some pencil lines in to give us direction. Okay. But when we come to here, I'm going to try to just burn some feathers in. And I'm going to do it this way. I'm looking at how the feathers would lay. I'm just going to put a few. I'm not going to go crazy in here. I'm going to burn these in, and then we'll sort of act as if we have a quill down the middle here, and then I'll do a 45-degree angle to the quill on both sides. And then these will be 45 and down this way. But the rest of this is going to be just like a vertical line to the breast area here, or to the breast center line here. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing here. Now, I'm going to try to do one side, and we're going to do the same thing like I normally do. I'll show you how to, here we go again. On this side, I'm coming in, and I'm drawing this feather in. This will be one complete feather. And this is just an illusion. And then the quill would come right down the middle here, and then we 45 out this way and 45 out that way. And then these will all be 45s down here. So this is just directional. You're going to be burning these pretty tight, similar to what you do up in here. But I'm going to start burning. Now, if you have a block of wood or something to rest on, I'm just going to get a cup here so that I could rest my piece on. And it tends to help to steady it, because you got a hand here and a pen here, and you're doing this motion. So trying to be steady is hard. So sometimes if you could rest your hand here, or get your one of your fingers on here, and hold the bird, you can lay that on the line and steady yourself and then follow that line. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually pulling the bird rather than the pen. I was resting my hand here and I was doing this motion, so that helps. Now I got the pinky down here this time as I'm reaching over a little bit more, and all I'm trying to do is just track the pencil line. Now these are just a little, I'll put this down and rest this. Today my hand doesn't seem as steady. I don't know why. Some days they are. And as I use it, I get steadier. Okay. Now, I am going to burn from the inside out. So I'm resting this on my hand here, and I hope you can see this. I tend to drift a little bit, and I apologize. Hope that was all on the camera. So I'm going to come in and I'm stroking. Now, all before, and I should have mentioned this before I started the burning, I hope that you sanded everything out. And I don't know if I told you that in the last video, but you want to sand everything out, even though you lifted the feathers, and you should have did the sanding before you did any relieving of the feathers. If you go back and still sand it, that would be really helpful, because when you do the burn, it just comes out nicer, you know. And it's, now I did the outside on a 45-degree angle. I'm going to do the inside on a 45-degree angle too. Now the thing you don't see in the screen here is that I'm wearing magnification, and it helps. It really does. If you have an opportunity to get some magnification, that's helpful. And if you are in need of some magnification, I have what they call the optivisors. I also have ones that project the light and have several lenses associated with it, so that if you need more more magnification, you can get it. So now I did that whole complete feather, so I'm going to now get the tip into a 45, similar to what I did on the same side. I'm just trying to get the tip in there. I'm not trying to drag this. I'm just trying to get that little bit of line work right in there. And we're talking, this is teeny tiny now, okay? And try to keep them tight, don't get too wide. And again, I go for a lot of realism when I make my birds, so I hope I'm not discouraging some of you. The first time that I've done a bird, I should show you what mine looked like. And boy, I am not steady today. I don't know why, but I can feel my fingers jumping around a little bit. It's like I'm getting nervous in service. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, the first bird I didn't come out as well as you would think, but yet when I did it at that time, it really excited me because that was the start. And you're going to get better the more you do. Now I'm doing the outside burn on a lot of these feathers on one side. And I did all the ones on the left-hand side, which were little things. Now, all the rest of these running down, I'm going on a 45 degree, like this. But like I was saying before, in doing these, don't get discouraged if, you should be happy with what you develop as you go. And if you can get to the level of detail that I show sometime, that's great. And I'm going to tell you right now, the more you do, the better you get. Okay? And like I said, I've done this over the years, but it doesn't take years. I've had students that picked it up right from the get-go, and then other ones needed to take some time to develop it. So it all depends on your dexterity, your patience, and your wanting to learn. Okay? Now there's half of that done. Now on the other side here, I'm going to burn the 45 in this way. Hope I'm not drifting again. For some odd reason, because I'm a lefty, I can lay this in my hand just over my knuckle here. And it's like a good position and rest. Now for righties, it may be the reverse of what I'm doing here. But what I'm doing is I'm 45 into the quill. Okay, and then each one of these, the side is exposed more, the left-hand side, so you're 45 and into it. Where on the other side, it was the reverse. So, and now I'm getting the tip in, and if I'm not so steady, I can always go back and just throw another line in there. And I'm not pressing real hard. I'm letting the pen do the work. The pen will do the detail. It doesn't you don't have to get this charcoal black to act as if you burned it in. I know it's coming up as a dark color to you, but you're only trying to just mark it just enough to it stays there. And when you paint, the paints will go into these voids and fill some of them up, but you'll still have the detail. The detail will show. So I'm going to stop here shortly. And this side here would go like this. And I'm just looking over here. Because these are sliding down, you want to be able to come in here and get this done too. Again, on a 45 going down into the rump here. Okay? So you're going to complete this. You're going to complete the center. Let me go in and do one of these on the underneath side as well. You want to make an illusion of a feather. You know what I should have done? I'm sorry. I'm going to put one more feather, like this is the feather right here. Here coming back. Then the quill right in the middle here. So let me see if I can, this is just, I'm not going to lift any of these feathers. I'm just going to burn them in. So I'm going to come in on this side and this side. Then I'm going to do a feather down and turn. Feather down and turn. Feather down and turn. Just a couple of them in there, just to give the illusion that there are feathers there. Okay? Now, the way we're going to do this, I put pencil lines in on a 45-degree angle. I'm going to ask you to come in and just go right in there on that flat surface, which is like the underside of the wing, and burn this in on a 45-degree angle. Now, when you come up to these feathers up here, or what is an illusion of feathers, I'm going to stop that right there. Now, this is one feather right in here. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm going to shoot a quill down the middle, and then I'm going to burn a 45-degree angle. I don't know if you can see that well or not. Then I'm going to do the next one on a 45-degree angle. And this is just to give an illusion of some of the feathers you may see in the back end. These aren't going to be prominent at all, but it's nice to complete the detailing. And if you were competing in a show, you want to get really get this thing really fine, you know, to match up exactly with all the feathers that you could possibly show. And it's just a showy effect. Now, when it comes up into here, I'm just going to stroke some line work above here, because this gets in tight. And this is like a 45 again to the rump area. I'm just trying to throw a little bit of texturing lines in there. I'm not trying to separate feathers or anything else like that. I'm just doing it in this wide area right in here, but not up in here. I'm just doing 45-degree lines. Okay, so you're going to do this over here as well. And like I said, this gets 45 this way to the quill, and then you also want to carry this down as if like it's coming into the body, and it stops right here. Okay, so you can see where I may have missed a spot or two. You just go keep on raking it over. Okay, so you're going to complete that, and you're going to complete here. I stopped on this one too. So I want you to finish all that. And what you did on this side, you want to do on that side. Okay? Now, let me shut this off for a minute. I want to show you this. We have a beak that sticks out, but we had, remember, about 3/8 back, we have this underneath side of the beak. This is the beak up here. This is where the feathering comes in. You have your center line coming right on up here. I want to measure from here down to here, and I want to get an inch in. So I'm going to lay that right in there. I'm going to put a dot right here. And then what I'm going to do, here's my center line, just of the head now, not the body. And I'm going to flare out like this and come up. And then I'm going to flare out on this side and try to make it look symmetrical so that it looks the same on both sides, the arc. Okay. Now, in here, I'm going to come in with a small C. going to make it a little bigger as I move out. I'm going to make it a little bigger, bigger. And I'm not sticking to a, excuse me, on the phone here. Sorry about the interruption with the phone. And I'm growing bigger with the feathers, making them a little bit bigger. And I'm going to come up to that line. And if it's more advantageous to go past the line a little bit, that's fine too. Like this last one, I'm going to go below, just past the line. So I have all of these, and they've increased in size as they come back. We're going to do more feathering all the way down through here. But I wanted to show you just this portion for the burn. Okay, now we're going to do the same technique we did in the head, in this breast area, just this area, because we're going to lift these feathers here. So I'm going to come in, and I'm going right up to the beak line under there, and I'm flaring out to the left and flaring out to the right. Then I'm going to do the next one. And again, we're always burning on that leading edge. And we're trying to flare out to the left and to the right. And these are little, so you really have to get your point of your burner in there. Okay. I hope I'm not drifting again. I hope I didn't get out of the frame. I apologize if I did, but this is the technique you're using in that area. I tend to drift at times, and I hope I didn't drift too far that I lost you. Now, I want this all done right on down to the end. Here's a big one here, or bigger. I'm going to start up front here. I'm going to stroke down. Then I'm fanning out to the left. Then I'm fanning to the right. And that's how you do all of them. I'll come back and get the upper one here. And you're going to complete all of that, and that'll look just like this when you get done. Now there's one other thing I want to try to accomplish within this video here, and that is this bird has what do you want to call them? I can't even think of what they're called. They're like pockets where the feathers come up, but they're actually part of the setup for breathing in the beak here. I put a center line back in there so that your spacing is equal on both sides. It's like a little wedge. It's not real wide. And when you look at them, you want to be able to see that this and this have the same length. And all we're going to do is burn into there. It's like breathing holes in a sense. I wish I could remember the exact name. I'm going brain dead here today. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually burn within that wedge. And you can see it's not big. So I'm going to stroke right from one side to the other and then fill in a little bit, sort of making like the feathers came up into that beak there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to take a stroke here and a stroke there to define that, and then just stay within it. And that's how that goes, just like that. I hope you can see that well. And you can see the spacing in between there. And that will complete like the detailing on the beak for the moment, okay? So if you could get that much done, that'd be great. And finish all the burning, you know, the tail gets done, the side gets done, matches this here, and the throat area here. And then I'll take you on the next video and show you how to do the rump, get the detailing out on that. And then we're getting close. We'll be putting eyes in pretty soon after we get the rump done. And this bird may be flying soon. So hope you got something out of this video as well. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you would subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that too. So see you on the next video.